You dressed up as Batman for your son's birthday party.
I
Right?
did. He wanted me to wear the outfit for his party, and he had a superhero party, so there was a bunch of superheroes.
Oh, there was a bunch.
Yeah,
You
there
were
was
one
a
of
bunch other
many.
guys, so I jumped in with the gang. Yeah.
Oh, what was that reaction like, man?
He was into it. He thought it was pretty cool. It was one of the high points of the film, frankly.
You know what was funny too, Henry? You posted some pics of you cruising around Times Square in the Superman T-shirt, and people weren't really like tripping out or recognizing you. Was that sort of like a social experiment, trying to be funny, kind of surreal, right?
It was a social experiment that ended up being funny. It was. Everyone's always saying how the glasses aren't a great disguise for Clark Kent. And I've always held the belief that hiding in plain sight's a great way of doing it. So I put it to the test. Went to Times Square, stood underneath the big wraparound BVS posters with a Superman T-shirt on, and two people stopped me. One to ask for directions to Central Station, and another person to say, stop taking photos in this coffee shop.
Awesome. What would you say for both of you are the pros and cons of playing superheroes?
You know, I think there's definitely. I think Superman is the harder part. I think it's a really hard part to play. That's why sometimes it's successful, sometimes it isn't. Because you have to make the person. You have to be identifiable. You have to be able to access that person. So the actor has to, on the one hand, be believably invulnerable and all that stuff, but also somehow kind of human. I thought Henry did a great job with that. You know, for me, hooking into this character had more to do with like, he's a human being. He's flawed. You can kind of identify with that, and there's an easier entree into the character.
Ben, I wanted to ask you, speaking of pics that I saw, the tat on your back, real or fake for a movie?
Fake for a movie.
Fake for a movie. Okay. You're not at liberty to talk about it?
But I don't want to know. I actually do have a number of tattoos. I have a fair number of tattoos, but I don't have them. I try to not have them in places where you have to do a lot of cover up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're all under the it's just, they get sort of addictive, tattoos after a while. You have any?
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm like one of the only guys in my generation. I never pierced my ear or have. That's because my old man, though,
Oh, really?
would have probably.
See, now that's the novel thing. It's like the guys who don't have them is a rarity now.
Wait, do you not have any either?
No tattoos.
Oh, wow, look at that. Because of repercussions or?
No.
You two guys should date. I don't know.